Hi, I'm Gretchen DeMarco, and I'm the Vice President of Operations for the Princeton-Mercer Regional Chamber of Commerce, and I'm this year's Community Honoree. We are a membership association of 1,200 businesses and organizations throughout central New Jersey, and our mission is to bring those businesses together, act as a voice for business, and help promote economic development in our community. Staying involved with RWJ was always very important to me. RWJ is a pillar of our community as an employer, as a provider of healthcare, but also with the work the hospital does in the community. You can see the work that Diane Grillo is doing with community gardens in food deserts. So staying involved beyond my time as a young professional was very important. I got involved in the Community Impact Alliance, where we continued to raise funds for maternal health projects. And it's really important to me that our hospital remains a pillar of our community. My sons were born there, so it's a special place for my family. And anything that I can do to support our hospital is, I'm happy to do it. Community involvement for me is really just a matter of the example that was set for me by my parents. All throughout my life, my parents have been not just involved in the community, but leaders. My mom was on the executive committee of the PTA, or the band parents. My dad was the president of the local swim club. So that was an example my parents set throughout our lives, that you don't just be a part of the community, you get involved and you lead if you have the capacity to do so. So I've been a part of the Economic Development Advisory Commission since 2016. I've been involved with the golf outing for the Miracle League of Mercer County for the last 3 years. I've been involved with the Halsey Foundation and their annual event. I'm also the president of the Steinert High School PTA and the vice president of the Boys Soccer Booster Club. So this is my first time being the honoree for anything. I've been doing fundraising events, both as a volunteer and through the chamber for years, and I've been normally the person behind the scenes. I'm the person behind the podium, behind the camera. So to be the honoree is a little bit of a stretch for me in terms of my comfort zone, but it is very gratifying. I look at the community leaders that have received this recognition past, and many of my professional mentors and personal friends have received this honor in the past, and I'm absolutely humbled to be the community honoree this year. I'd like to thank the team at RWJ, Lisa Breza, Diane Grillo, Nina Melker, and Jessica Alleman for this incredible honor. I was absolutely floored when they offered me this recognition, and I could not be prouder to accept this award. I'd like to give a particular recognition to Jessica Alleman as the person who's often the producer of events like this. I know the work that she has put into this, and that person is often the last person that gets thanked. So I'd like to recognize Jessica for her work, but also thank Lisa, Diane, and Nina for their leadership and for their faith in me.
Hi, my name is Ann Mancuso. I am a certified heart failure nurse at Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital in Hamilton. My nursing career started as an associate's degree nurse at Brookdale Community College. After that, I graduated with my bachelor's degree from the University of Virginia. And currently, I have a master's degree in nursing leadership and am enrolled in a nurse practitioner program right now at the College of New Jersey. I've been a registered nurse for 25 years, and I've worked at RWJ Hamilton for 11 years. As the heart failure coordinator, my role is to make sure our patients understand heart failure, how to manage their disease process at home, to make sure that they're empowered to be able to take care of themselves as well as their caregivers. I also act as a support role for our nurses to make sure that they are kept up to speed with guideline-directed medical therapies, understanding heart failure management, the importance of transitional care, and improving our patient outcomes. Being a nurse at is really exciting. It's truly a culture of belonging, collaboration. It's a commitment to excellence. We strive to make sure that our patients, first and foremost, are taken care of to the best way that we can. We make sure that we're engaging with not only the patients, but their caregivers and their families, with their community providers as well. We make sure as a system that we also have access to resources, making sure that not only are we taking care of our patients, but we take care of each other as well. So I know it sounds cliche. We feel like we're part of a family. We have, take care of one another. I rely heavily on some of my partners in the disease management program that help us engage with patients. And, I might have patients with other disease processes where we pull on each other's resources and what our strengths are to make sure that we're meeting the needs of the patients. So improve quality outcomes for our patients as well as the organization as a whole. What I love about being a nurse is truly taking care of people, getting to understand what their needs are. My current role affords me the opportunity to sit with them and to take time with them and to answer all of their questions, focusing mostly on heart failure, but as we know, there's so many other things that happen in our patients' lives. So it's really understanding what their needs are. So let me tell you about our Healthy Lives Hamilton program. This program is designed to help our patients that come into the hospital with congestive heart failure. We also help manage our patients from the outpatient setting. What's fantastic about this program is that we're really providing that patient-centered care. We're taking the time to gain that rapport with our patients and their families, to garner their trust, and to really communicate and understand what their needs are pertaining to their heart failure. We take the time to understand any potential barriers that they have to managing their care successfully. Through Healthy Lives, we believe in open communication and transparency and close collaboration between the providers in the community, as well as the patients and their families. We believe in making connections in the community as well. So if our patients come to us and they're having difficulties with their transportation or getting to appointments or even affording medications, we're really listening to them and understanding what their needs are, and not only telling them what they need to do, but actually making those connections to make sure that they're going to be successful in managing their disease process so that they can live and improve quality of life and reduce those hospital admissions. We know our patients want to be home with their families, and that's what we aim to do, is to help them to achieve that. The honor of being nominated for Caregiver of the Year has been incredibly humbling. Having received this award now, it's incredibly motivating, and it reassures and reaffirms that what we do every single day will keep me motivated to continue to do that, to continue to do more, because it tells me that we're having an impact and that what I do matters and it's important. I would like to thank my family first and foremost. My husband has been, and my daughter have been tremendous in helping me pursue my nursing career, but my husband has been there through the whole process. If it's studying for exams, bringing me treats to make sure I had study breaks and making sure I got distracted and I had some fun during that time. My daughter also, more recently continuing through school. I hope that I'm a role model for her, that, lifelong learning, it doesn't end once you get your degrees, that you still work hard and you still achieve what you want to achieve, regardless of how old you might be. So they have been tremendous in supporting me through my nursing career journey, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. Professionally, I have to thank my mentor, Connie. Everybody knows Connie, who has really allowed me to grow in my role, has been incredibly supportive and listening to me, bounce new ideas off of her and potential programs that we might want to grow more, different ways that we can support our nursing staff and opportunities to help them understand heart failure management, not just the acute part of it, but making sure they understand the transitional part of it and the more long-term goals for some of these patients. My leadership team has also been tremendous in helping us develop the Healthy Lives program, allowing us to really kind of build it from scratch and to get creative and to find some autonomy in that, helping us to grow it and make our changes along the way and supporting us so that we can explore and find what's going to work and make the process and the program successful.
Hi, my name is Joe Bogdan. I'm a healthcare administrator at Avalon Healthcare and Rehabilitation Center. I've had the privilege and honor to work at Avalon for the last 25 years. My greatest asset is our employee. And I love working there, and I love the work that we do each day, helping seniors, helping people get better, and also deal with some really tough issues sometimes with the long-term care continuum. What makes me tremendously proud to be at Avalon, to work there, is to serve our seniors. They're our greatest asset. They're our beacon of light, in times sometimes that are often most difficult. So each day, it's truly a blessing to work with them, to help them, to serve them, to do your level best and make their day maybe just a little better. Avalon is proud to be a member of the Greater Hamilton community. We pride ourselves in volunteering for many nonprofit organizations, be it Meals on Wheels or the Hamilton Partnership, just trying to make our community a better place to live, a better place to work, and a better place to just enjoy life. Our relationship with Robert Wood Johnson Hamilton is unique. Robert Wood Johnson Hamilton is our community hospital. They're the cornerstone of our healthcare industry. We receive patients from Robert Wood for rehabilitation and/or long-term care, and we do our level best to provide services that will enhance their quality of life and that will make them improve to the best extent of their ability. Avalon, I feel, is important to our community in that we provide very specialized services for rehabilitative medicine and long-term care. It is a unique community that has been there for the last 30 years and has served many of our neighbors, and I feel that having long-term care providers integrated into the healthcare system helps provide a better outcome. RWJ is tremendously important to our community. It's our community hospital. We feel that they provide an outstanding level of care. They are the cornerstone of the healthcare continuum, and we feel that our seniors, our neighbors, our children in this community are very well served by a very elevated, advanced medical staff that can handle almost everything. Avalon's partnership with RWJ Hamilton is quite unique. We mutually work together for the benefit of our patient to provide outcomes that are congruent with a high level of care and outcomes that are suitable for the patient's goals and objectives. Being the corporate honoree of the year is an immense honor. It truly reaffirms my commitment to our patients, our residents, and to carry the torch and to maybe leave this world a little better and to pass it along to the next lucky soul. This honor reflects the hard work and commitment of our team, our leadership staff, of just trying to serve our community, serve our residents, serve our seniors in the best way possible. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital here at Hamilton. Also, would like to thank my family for their tremendous support over the years. I'd like to thank my staff. They're the heart and soul of the building, the boots on the ground. I'd like to thank my mentors, Ben Miller from Hospicom, Norman Rokeach from Marquee Healthcare, for believing in us and supporting us throughout the years. I'd like to thank my colleague and good friend, Yolanda Stinger, who could not be here tonight. But I want to say, Yolanda, I tip my hat off to you. You're often my beacon of light in the storm, always there with a smile, always there with a supportive, let's get it done. But more importantly, your support not only to Avalon, but to RWJ Hamilton. We're blessed to have you.
For those of you who don't know me, my name's Ron Ryder. I'm born and raised in Northeast Philadelphia. And my mother was a nurse, my father a police officer. And they had a lot to do with me being here today and accepting this award. So growing up, turns out my mother got cancer, and she died when I was 13 years old. So it was a prolonged illness. We knew it was coming, but still hard at 13 years old, somebody going into high school. And then a few years later, my father died when I was 16 years old. He died of a heart attack, sudden cardiac death. So I think within a few years of that, I realized that my passion was to get into medicine. And once it was medicine, I realized cardiology was where I wanted to go, to try and help families and people not go through what I went through growing up with that kind of process. And heart disease, it runs in my family. So my father died at 48. It was a sudden cardiac death. Came home one day, and the family was around the kitchen table, and they said he had passed away that morning. No warning that I knew of. Now, he was an ex-Marine. He was a police officer. You know, they feel they're invincible. Ham and eggs every morning for breakfast. Smoked a pack of cigarettes a day. And to my knowledge, he never had any warning that anything was wrong, except his older brother, Sonny, my Uncle Sonny, he died at 31. So I never met Uncle Sonny, just heard that he died of a heart attack. Their father, my grandfather, died when he was 50. Never met my grandfather. So my father realized on that side of the family there was heart disease, and yet still pack of cigarettes a day, bacon and eggs. And I don't really think he went to the doctors much. But what I realized is, this can be changed. This is something that's preventable. What my father gave me was genetics for heart disease. So by the age of 40, I had a coronary calcium score. It was elevated at 140, which is high. My dad gave me a cholesterol 280, triglycerides of 300. So he had given to me the genetics for this disease, heart disease. And I realized if I didn't do something, I'd go down that same pathway. So I'm 60 years old today. I shouldn't be here. But because I went into cardiology and took the medicines I was supposed to do and did the right things in the lifestyle, I was able to change the direction that I was headed. So an example of how you can make a difference here is I have an older cousin. His name's Dan. So that's my father's sister's son. Also an ex-Marine, very stubborn. His cholesterol 300, his triglycerides 300 to 400. Dan would not take any medicine for his cholesterol. Everything made his teeth itch or made his body ache, and he just wouldn't do it. So 10 years ago, I got a phone call. They live out in Wyoming, Dan and his wife, and he was on the way to a boot camp Marine workout. And he said, "Ron, I'm having this funny chest discomfort in my chest," as he was driving. I said, "Dan, that sounds a lot like angina. Get to the closest hospital." So he did get admitted, had a cardiac catheterization, needed a 3-vessel bypass, and did well for about 10 years. Still wouldn't treat his disease. About a year ago, I got a call. "Ron, I'm having that same discomfort." He's working out at a gym. I said, "Dan, it sounds like angina. Get to the closest hospital." He had his cardiac catheterization. One of his stents was blocked 90%. They put in a stent, went home, and now finally I can say he's taking medicine for his disease and his numbers look great. But what I'm trying to show is that you can change the direction that you're headed. He was given the same genetics I was given. Nobody in our family on the male side lived past the age of 50. He chose not to treat it, got into trouble, but was able to get through. I chose to treat mine aggressively. About 8-9 years ago, I had a heart catheterization by one of my partners, Jay Patel, and I had a 30% blockage in my LAD, that's the widowmaker. And I was treated with medicine, didn't need a stent. About a year ago, I had another heart catheterization. It was now 20%. So I reversed my heart disease. And you hear about this concept, it can be done, but it takes aggressive lifestyle intervention. All the stars have to be aligned, you have to be doing things correctly. So when I sit down with my patients in the office, I try to go over the things that they can do in their lifestyle to make changes to help prevent the heart disease. Sometimes you can't. If it's genetics and you're given that role, accept it and then educate yourself and then do something to change the direction that you're headed. And that's where I've gotten a lot of satisfaction over the years being a cardiologist. I was trained to put catheters inside people's hearts, pacemakers, do heart catheterizations, but what I really enjoy is being in the office and sitting down with a patient, going over their risk factors, trying to change the direction they might be headed, because I can reach a lot more patients that way and save lives than in the hospital if they're in the emergency room with cardiogenic shock. So that's kind of what led me into being a cardiologist, and the passion for trying to prevent the process that led to some problems in my family can absolutely, especially now, 30 years later, with the medicines that are available and the procedures that are available, heart disease doesn't have to be the number one killer still of men and women. It is, and it is by far more than cancer, but it doesn't have to be. You get the education out there and you do preventive things. So that's what drives me day to day to go into work and see the patients and do what I do. Receiving this award, thank you to Lisa Breza, President and CEO of the medical staff, and Nina Melker, Chairwoman of the board. Both great individuals I've known for years, very passionate about what they do. And this award means a lot because of the years that I put in doing what I do, I love to do. I was recognized by my peers as being someone who went there day in and day out and really did the job that I love. I'd like to recognize Dr. Gusan because when I joined him in 1995, he was more of my mentor, as I saw he was already established, successful cardiologist, and I tried to emulate what he was doing. I would see the way he would talk to patients, hold their hands, and I learned a lot about the art of medicine through him, as well as other things in life. I would go to him with questions whenever there was something in my life. He was my older brother that was there, and that was a great marriage that we had. And then from there, Hamilton Cardiology was born. Jay Patel joined, John Kaplan, many of the doctors that are there today. My children, I have 5 and 3 stepchildren. So they keep me grounded and working hard and realize that that's why I go to work and work the hours that I do, so I can help them with that. And lastly, my wife Kim, she keeps me humble, and a lot of people out there realize that's hard to do for me. But she does a great job of keeping me humble, and she's the best friend that I found in life. So I'd like to thank those people for helping me be here today to accept the award.